Hello world. So I was browsing through the code of GMock, as one often does, and found this intriguing member function. It's called AllowLeak. Look at the description. Tells Google Mock to ignore mock object when checking for leaked mock objects. So GMock checks for leaked mock objects? Let's see. Cool, so GMock gives us an error. It says that the mock was leaked, and it mentions that AllowLeak again. Let's try to use it. And now my test works. But wait a second. I'm expecting foo to be called, but it's never called. This test should fail, right? But the test is happily passing. So what's happening here? Well, all this verification stuff for the expect calls happens when the mock gets destroyed. But in my test, the mock got leaked. So GMock never got to verify it. And there's also no warning or anything since I allowed the leak. And of course, this example, as always, is very contrived, but if you worked with C++ before, you know that it's very easy to leak memory. Even with smart pointers, it can happen. And also, not only memory leaks, but imagine you have a test fixture and a static variable, and that static variable is a mock. That won't get destroyed at the end of the test. Or if you have a global variable that's a mock, it won't get destroyed at the end of every test, so GMock won't get to verify the expect calls. And this will trigger the AllowLeak warning, and you have to put AllowLeak. But when you write AllowLeak, every expect call is useless. So basically the mock is doubling as a fake. And of course, if you have something in your code that makes the mock's destructor not be called, I would vote for you to fix it. But let's say you cannot fix it. Well, then you have to go with AllowLeak. But luckily for us, GMock allows us to do what the destructor does, but manually. So we have this member function verify and clear. It will verify the expectations and clear everything that you set with onCall. It's just as if the destructor was called. But why isn't this the default behavior when you allow leak? Since GMock knows that the object was leaked, couldn't it call verify and clear for us? Well, let's take a look into GMock's code. Well, everything starts when you call expect call or onCall. Then it calls this function, which calls this function, which calls this function, which registers the address for the mock object as a key to a map, and the value is the mock object state. And the mock object state is a class with a bunch of information regarding the mock. And right below this function, we see this other function that removes the entry from the map. Okay, so now let's take a look into this mock object state. And here it is. Leakable is set to false. Wow! Now let's go back and see what AllowLeak does. So it just gets the mock object state for this address and sets leakable to true. Makes sense. And now let's go back to the class with that map. When this destructor is called, GMock checks if there's anything still in the map. If so, it gives us the nice warning message, except if the mock is leakable. Then it doesn't do anything. Well, can we change the code so that for leakable things that weren't destroyed, the verify and clear member function still gets called? We could do it like this. Now it will give us the unsatisfied expectation warning even if memory leaks. But even though it says error, the test is still passing. So what happens? This destructor will be called when a program exits after all tests in it have been run. Oh man, so this only runs after all tests have been run. So the test has already passed by then. Well, we could verify this stuff on test exit instead of at the end, but then test stuff is handled by gtest, not GMock, and we don't want gtest to depend on GMock. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying that I won't do it. Bye world.